What is up, you guys? Glitchiz here, coming at you with another Dauntless video. If you guys enjoy high quality gaming content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. That being said, if you guys enjoy this video and find it helpful, be sure to smack that like button, share it with your friends, and comment down below. I respond to all the comments I receive. I am greatly appreciative of all the feedback you guys give. It makes me a better content creator and it helps me make videos that you guys actually want to watch. And speaking of videos that people actually want to watch, this video is no different. It actually comes by request of another commenter from my previous build video for the Hunger Exotic Sword. Shout out to Darkblood Vampy. He recommended I make a video for the Exotic Hammer, the Molten Edict. Now, not many people use this. It's a pretty one-off type of weapon, usually for meme builds, but with the build that I've come up with, it's actually really strong. And if you guys have seen my previous build videos, you know that I like making still strong, viable builds, but I like changing up the meta a little bit. I like using cells that aren't frequently used. And I think I came up with something really cool for you guys this time. So let's jump right into it. To start out, obviously, we got the exotic Molten Edict Hammer. Now, much like the exotic Hunger Sword, we get a new special mod that's unique to this weapon called Molten Edict. And what it does is it converts all explosive uses of ammo into fireball attacks that deal damage based on ammo quality. Now, that's whether you have just your normal reloaded ammo or the supercharged ammo after doing a successful full hit combo. Now, if you're doing your small minor attack, secondary attack, it'll launch a projectile, this small molten orb, which does an AoE impact on hit from range on the behemoth. But the big damage dealer is when you do your full final hit combo. It creates a bigger, slow-moving molten lava orb on the ground that travels in the direction that you're facing during your final hit and passes through the behemoths, doing damage over time. Now, I've built the whole build around this, and I've spent the last few days testing out different cells and what I thought would work. And the big issue that I ran into was that typically with hammer builds, you want some sort of attack speed because you want to get your full hit combo off more frequently. Well, in things like Escalation, if I'm running solo or even in hunting grounds, what I noticed was even though I had more attack speed, I was still not getting my full 3-hit combo off because I was getting hit and interrupted mid combo, which really dropped my DPS. Now, if you guys remember, in the original 1.5.0 patch when Dauntless Reforged launched, there was a cell that they gave a huge buff to, and it was the sturdy cell. Now I'm basing this whole build around the sturdy cell, and I'll tell you why. Basically, what it does is at +6, it prevents us from being staggered, and it's on a 5-second cooldown. So even if we get hit by a behemoth, if we're mid combo and this is active, it will negate the hit from the behemoth and we can finish that combo regardless and get that final swing off. So that's really nice. Now, before, I would have never used sturdy because the cell was absolute garbage. The numbers were terrible on it. I mean, for example, at +1 before, it was 120-second cooldown. Now it's a 30-second cooldown. At +6 before, it was a 15-second cooldown. Now it's only 5 seconds. So 5 seconds is a very short amount of time. As long as you're like even semi trying to dodge, this stagger frame should be up pretty much at all times when you're doing your combo, and you should be able to complete that 3-hit full combo a lot more frequently and do a lot more damage. So +6 sturdy, really good on this build. Now, the other cell that I'm using that not many people use is parasitic, and we'll go over that, what that does in a minute. So on the hammer itself, we're also using extended clip for the normal mod. This will increase our ammo capacity to 6. And I'm also throwing discipline on there. Now, discipline, if you remember before, will drop our max health to never be above 50%. And it also gives us a 7.5% critical strike chance bonus, which is always nice. Now, for the helmet, I'm using the Garrett Canopy. This is the Agarus helmet. This will give us our first +3 into parasitic, as well as a +3 sturdy cell to get us to +6 for sturdy. Now, what parasitic does and why it's so good is, for the longest time, and still honestly, the main meta that everyone does is they run Iceborne on Half-Life builds for sustainability. Now, Iceborne gives you additional toughness when you're low health, and it gives you lifesteal when you're below 50%, but what it doesn't do is mitigate damage, and that is what parasitic does very well. Now at +6 parasitic, what we get is anytime that we take damage, 35% of that damage is delayed and instead dealt over a 10-second period of time. So it mitigates those big one-shot crazy amount of damage, like one-off hits, and it mitigates 35% of that and does the damage over time instead. What we also get is, while parasitic is active, we get 5% lifesteal. Now you combine this 5% lifesteal with parasitic and the perk in Escalations that you can get, the passive perk, which gives you lifesteal. That's 10% lifesteal that we're getting throughout all of the escalation as long as parasitic is active, which will more than compensate for any of the health that we'll be losing while that damage is being mitigated and we're taking that tick damage over time. So really, really good combo, and it prevents us from being one shot, which is really, really nice. It works out really well, surprisingly. Now for the chest piece, I'm running the Aragic Bowl. Now this is the Agaric Bowl, sorry, which is the Agarist chest piece. This will give us the final +3 to get us to +6 for parasitic. And then I'm also throwing on +3 conduit. Now, yes, we're running a hammer, and yes, I said that with faster attack speed, I was still missing hits, but we do want some attack speed. So with +6 conduit, and we'll get the last +3 in our lantern, +6 conduit, as I'm sure you guys already know, we'll be getting +15% attack speed to all slayers, including ourselves, every time we use our lantern hold ability. So really good attack speed buff there, and that will be our main source of attack speed for this build. Now for the arms, I'm running the Torgadoro's Brawn. These are the Torgadoro arms. That is where we'll get our +6 overpower, free from the arms themselves, and then +3 from a cell. And what overpower does, if you don't know, will give us +60% damage to staggered behemoths, and because we're using a hammer, we will be staggering like crazy, so that is a huge damage boost and really good for hammer builds. For the legs, I'm running the Volcanic Treads. These are the Charog legs, and this is where we'll be getting +6 rage, 3 from the boots and 3 from the cell. At +6 rage, when under 50% health, which we will always be because we're running discipline, we will get another +25% damage. So really, really good damage boost there. Lastly, for the lantern, I'm using Draskai again for additional damage. Our instant tap ability will give us +30% increased damage for 6 seconds. And then the hold will give us a line of sight lightning bolt that does 150 shock damage multiple times as it passes through enemies. And now why this synergizes pretty well is for efficiency purposes, and you'll see this in the gameplay that I'll show in a minute. Typically, common knowledge, when you're trying to do your final full hit combo on a behemoth with hammers, you want to try and line your attack up from head to tail. And what I mean by that is you want to like be facing the head and aiming down the tail for that final hit combo, because that multiple chain reaction you do will get the most amount of damage off if all of those ticks hit. Now with the Molten Edict, that final charge will also send out that slow moving lava orb, which will do a directional damage as well. So if we're aiming up from head to tail, not only will our full combo be doing more damage, but the lava orb will be doing more damage. And if our lantern hold ability is done, that's a line of sight as well that does multiple damage. So if we do all those at the same time, we'll be doing maximum damage output on the lantern as well. So really good combo there, and the increased damage is always nice. Lastly, for the tonics, I'm running Blitz Tonic. That will give us increased attack speed, Frenzy Tonic for the increased damage, and then lastly, Assault Tonic, which will give us 40% increased stagger damage. Again, really good for hammers, for 60 seconds. So a full minute of 40% increased stagger damage. So really, really good. So that is pretty much the build. I'm sure you guys are probably thinking this build is not going to be that great, but trust me, watch the gameplay, watch the damage output that this thing does. When you're ignoring those staggers and you're able to get your full power charge 3-hit combo off, and you get that Molten Orb out way more often, you're doing a ton of extra damage, and you will just be staggering, breaking parts, and slaying behemoths way faster than you would expect. So let's jump right into the gameplay and see what this build's capable of. Catch you in a minute. All right, what is up, you guys? We are here in a solo 10 to 50 shock escalation to show off this Molten Edict build. Now, normally I would probably chop this recording up, but we actually blew through this in sub 8 minutes time. So I'm gonna just play it all the way through and show you how good this build really is. For some reason, the recording does stutter a little bit at some parts. I gotta adjust some settings, but we'll figure it out eventually, hopefully by the next one. But let's jump right into this first phase. We annihilate this Ember main. Get the quick interrupt. Perfect alignment, head to tail for that Molten Edict combo. I think we kill him in 4 combos. There's 1. There's 2. Now watch this golden tick. Boom. See how we turn gold? That was the stagger being interrupted because of sturdy. So that was 3 combos. Boom. 4 combos. Already dead. 4 combos already dead. Totally negated any enraged knockback because of sturdy. So far, so good. I think we pick up Virulent Impact. Really good when you have multiple behemoths. Yeah, we blow through this escalation. Especially on this phase. We had some really good Molten Orb placements on this one. And what's so good, again, because of sturdy, we can literally just continuously swing and not have to worry about our combo being interrupted by attacks. Look at half health on the cool shot already. Quarter health. Boom. I'm literally in the middle of the knockback and he dies just from the Molten Edict Orb. Already turning on to the strike, breaking everything. All that damage. Already down to half health. Watch this. Boom. Ignore it. Ignore the knockback because of sturdy. Watch how I kill him. Little trick shot. Yeet. Oh, wait. Psych. Little sneak attack mini orb there on that one. Wasn't expecting that. I wasn't even expecting it. Every time you do your little jump shot ability or you do your right click, we do send out those little projectile orbs. So that's what happened there. The little projectile was enough to kill him on that one. Now, the Hellion, this is probably the hardest fight of all of them, even Malkurian. This is probably the hardest. We got that annoying Nezaga, like, pillar modifier, and he was just more, like, sturdy. So we don't really get a knockdown on him, unfortunately, but we do pretty much break everything still. But you'll see, even with the burning damage, like, the lifesteal between the amp and our parasite perk, like, we just heal through all the fire damage. See, normally that little head swing would have interrupted us, but because of sturdy, we can continue the attack. Didn't get interrupted by that. Missed the angle on that orb though, unfortunately, but it's all right. We reload. Yeah, it's hard to get a good head to tail alignment on Hellion because you like always want to kind of stay underneath them, but it works out either way. Pop a potion here. At 700 our little meatballs proccing for every tick. Even more when we get our stacks up. Now watch, I just jump at him. Totally ignore the interrupt. Ignore the interrupt on his stomp, which allows us to stagger him. And he's dead. And again, we're not using Iceborne, so just the delayed damage and the lifesteal from Parasitic is plenty enough to heal us up. Only we don't have to worry about getting one shot now. Now typically I would take Pact of Might, but because I had Viral Impact and I was able to get more crit damage, I went with the Malkurian amp on that one. This phase is insane. Perfect orb placements on this one. Get this interrupt on Embermane. Now watch how Nezaga and Emmermain line up on this. It's like literally flawless. Tons of damage. Boom. Ignore the knockback because it's sturdy. And Nezaga just runs right in to these orbs. Boom. Passes right through Emmermain and right into Nezaga. There goes another one. Emmermain's dead. Moving on. Let's chase him down. Now normally, watch these lightning pillars. Boom. See, that would have interrupted my final hit right there. But because it's sturdy, I was able to complete it. Brought him down to a quarter of health. Look at that damage. Ignored it again. Now watch this. Watch this kill. Yeet. Easy peasy. Probably the fastest 4th round ever. Pretty sure I take Breath of Life, a little more life steal. Again, this was a sub 8-minute escalation run. Now we get one last little hiccup in the recording for some reason right before the final hit on Valkyrian on this. So forgive me for that, but we bait him a little bit. Normally I wouldn't even bother taking these jump pads, but I just happened to hop on one. I get some free damage in, and then I don't remount. I go right back into swinging. He turns right into that orb. Boom. Ton of damage. Down to quarter of health gone. Boom. That one combo brought down another quarter. He's at half. Actually, it brought him down to a quarter. Dodge the bite. And here's the last combo here coming up. Boom. Broke that. Reload my ammo. Here's where it hiccups. Boom. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Boom. And final hit. So yeah, you can see how fast we soloed that. If you guys enjoyed this if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below, share it with your friends. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Hope you all had a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Also, if you're looking to join a killer community of like-minded gamers, then be sure to click the link in the description and join the Glitch Gang Discord server. We continue to grow every day, and it's filled with all your favorite game discussion channels, as well as several LFG channels to help you find that perfect group for your next hunt or raid. Lastly, if you're new to the channel and want to keep up to date with all my future content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Hope you all had a great day, and I will catch you on the next one.